Teresa Neff, and today we'll discuss Pergolesi's Stabat Mater. In the first half of the 18th century, commentators were quick to distinguish between the new and the old. The old was referred to as Baroque, which probably derives from the Portuguese word for a misshapen pearl. Today, scholars refer to Baroque art and architecture as extravagant and grand. Some examples of artwork and architecture that take on the meaning of extravagant and theatrical are things like the Versailles Palace in France, with the hall of mirrors and the extended gardens, as well as the altar at the Royal Chapel. We can think of Bernini's David, in which David is in the act of throwing the slingshot towards Goliath. His muscles are tensed and he is in motion, and by that motion is telling us the entire story. If we compare that with an earlier rendering of David by Michelangelo, we see a David that's much more at repose. He's simply standing rather than in motion. We don't see the definition of the muscle in quite the same way in the Michelangelo as we do in the Bernini. If we think about the new aesthetic in architecture, we can think about Chiswick House in England that was built in 1725. The lines are much cleaner, the sense of symmetry and balance is emphasized, and here we have in architecture that new sense of the classical style. In music, Johann Sebastian Bach's death in 1750 is often used as the end point of the musical Baroque. But certainly, as in art and architecture, the new sound, which emphasized simplicity, pleasing melodies, and natural harmonies, was being written long before Bach died. Pergolesi, who died in 1736, is a great example of that. His music combines both old style and new. Pergolesi created quite a sensation in the 1720s with his short opera, La Serva Padrona, in which he used this new sound and created an opera in which the servant got the better of the master. With Pergolesi's Stabat Mater, a work that he composed at the very end of his life, we hear the combining of this old and this new style.